If you were a hydroponics gardening channel and that's the only thing that you talked about, the only thing that you did, you could have a YouTube channel of 500 to 1,000. But if you also offered those services where you would Zoom with people to talk about their plants or their, vegetation needs and their environment and stuff like that, you could be making more money from the consultations. You might not even be in the partner program, and you could be making money from these sessions and speaking at events and being known as the hydroponics person. That's worth its weight in gold and sometimes revenue when it comes to being known for something very, very specifically.
Hey, welcome to the Video Entrepreneur Podcast. Glad to have you back here with us. This podcast is brought to you by Uscreen, and my name is Rob Balasabas. I'm the head of partnerships here at Uscreen. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're hanging out with us here. Hope you're enjoying the content and you are ready for another episode. We are going to be talking about building revenue with your video content. So grab a coffee, tea. I'm a coffee person, so I love coffee. So grab a coffee or tea, your favorite drink, sit back and enjoy this conversation. In today's episode, we have Shelly Nathan joining me to talk about the business side of being a creator, as well as why it's important to diversify your revenue streams, all right? Diversification, very important. Shelly, aka Shelly Saves the Day, which is what she is known by online, is a Seattle-based video creator and YouTube coach. Now, Shelly is also the creator of the iMovie Made Easy program, which is a comprehensive video editing course which teaches you how to edit videos using iMovie, which is what I use actually, and is also the former senior video manager and product expert at TubeBuddy, but now she is consulting on her own and running her own business full-time. Now, before we chat with Shelly and bring her on, I want to make sure I invite you to subscribe to our podcast on YouTube or on your favorite podcasting app. We have new episodes every single week. You're going to get to meet a new creator talking about their business. And so if you found value in any of our content here, please take a moment to leave us a review on your favorite podcasting app or a comment. We want to hear from you. We want to know any questions you have, any requests you have, or even any creators you'd like us to interview on the show. And so that will really help us get this podcast out to as many creators as possible. And so with that, let's talk to Shelly. Yeah, really awesome to see you. Really excited to talk to you about something that's really up your alley, which is the importance of diversification of revenue for creators, which I think you're perfect for. You know a lot about different revenue streams, so we're going to dive into that. But for our audience here who might just be meeting you for the first time, can you take a moment and just introduce yourself, what you do, how you got into YouTube and this whole, creator economy space, and what you're up to lately?
That was a lot. Which one should we go after?
That is
first?
a lot.
Yeah.
That is a long intro. Sorry, we should break that up into two.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shelly. I have a YouTube channel called Shelly Saves the Day. You can find me everywhere as Shelly Saves the Day. And I really like to talk about how you can become a better content creator, share what you love with the world through video, and monetize it. So a lot of people will do just the first half, which is how can I create content? I want to help you take it one step further and say, how can you help create content and get a little extra cash in your pocket at the end of the day. So that's what my main focus is on. And how I got started on YouTube, there's many different ways that you want to look at it. I came to YouTube when I was looking to learn something, and I was able to do that. And then as I started learning more things, I was just like, I could do this. I could teach people things. As the daughter of a school teacher, I was always very much into education and explaining things, and everyone in my life would tell you I'm an over-explainer of things. So I was like, this is perfect. Maybe I should do this type of thing too. I think the hardest part for me, because I'm such an ADD squirrel brain, is being able to focus on what I want to talk about. And so it's been a really long time and journey that I've been on YouTube. So that's why I'm really passionate about helping other people get to where they want to be faster, because I've made pretty much all the mistakes you can make and you can learn from me. So you don't have to do it yourself. So that's a little bit about me and what I do and who I help.
Amazing. Yeah, I think we've all made, those mistakes, and it's really refreshing when creators that have been on YouTube for a while share those mistakes and, is transparent with them. And I think you do that really well. Do you remember the first YouTube video like you uploaded that you made? Like, what was that video like? What was that like making that? And how is that compared to how you create now?
There's actually two different first YouTube videos, and it's ironic because they're completely wildly variant, which is very much like my content used to be and kind of still is. The first one was because I was applying to a coding school, and one of the requirements was you actually had to create a YouTube video. It could be unlisted or public, and it was answering these basic interview questions. They were doing virtual interviews basically for this coding school. And so I had to, and this was one of many requirements. So this was a very tough time for me because I was like, what is Markdown? What is GitHub? How do I post this stuff up here? What is a YouTube video? Why is it unlisted? What does this mean? So I was going through quite the transformation at this time, but I had to figure out, how do I answer these interview questions? How do I edit this video? How do I get it submitted, uploaded, and then be able to share it with the interview committee so that I could move forward in this interview process? So technically, that was my very first YouTube video that was ever uploaded, was an interview for me to go to a coding bootcamp. And I don't know if a lot of people know that. And then when I finally decided years later, after I was getting into, it was really the beauty space that I kind of fell headfirst into. That was my first official YouTube video on my own. That wasn't something that was required. This was for me. So I ended up doing an unboxing video of a monthly subscription box because I knew I couldn't teach someone how to do something yet, because if you know anything about the YouTube journey of me and my makeup, which is a whole long story, I've talked about it before, but long story long, I don't know how to do makeup. And I was like, I can't teach you, but I have opinions on things that came out of a subscription box, which I was already subscribed to. So I ended up uploading that as my very first video.
Nice. And those are still up today, or are they hidden?
I don't think they are. I don't think they are anymore, actually, because one of the things that happened was, the coding school one was, I had to create an account. It was just a private one for that video. So that never became a channel or anything after that. It was just for that one video. And then for the other one, it was a very short-lived channel because after 2 videos, I ended up having dinner with a girlfriend of mine, and I said, oh, I just started this YouTube channel, and she's like, oh, I've always wanted to do that. We should do one together. I thought twice as much content. Sure, let's do this with a friend. Yeah. So I only had 2 videos on that channel before I ended up parking it, and then I opened a channel with her for a year.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, we were gonna put it in the show notes, but no. I was joking.
It's probably cool. Somewhere up in Google Drive somewhere, because I store everything in the cloud. But it's there somewhere.
You can find it somewhere. No, it's always good to look back at those. I remember my first videos, it was like just this grainy old video, like on my webcam, and horrible audio. But I just
our videos are always so awful at the very beginning, right? And I was like, I remember thinking like I had a ring light that was it was out of a floral wreath type of backing that you would get at a floral store. It was wrapped in tinfoil. I put the strip lights on it from Amazon because I couldn't afford one of those Diva ring lights. And I had done this project. It was like a $30 ring light. It was zip tied to a paper towel holder. Like, it was like the most awful, but I was doing it, and it was like the most blue, tinny, awful. And I thought I was still like, oh, look at me, I'm doing the things right. And now you look at it, you're like, oh, that is the worst thing I've ever seen. You're so cute.
The worst. What are you doing?
You're so cute.
You're so cute. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about monetization. This is like a common thing when you ask new creators, like, what do you want to do? I want to get into the YouTube partner program. I want to make that AdSense money. That's like the first, usually the first 1 or 2
if you're still
ways
there,
that they want to make money.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you are.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. Okay. So Christine, you might need to edit that part out there. So let me mark that real quick here. Riverside lets you mark the clip.
That's pretty cool.
Like little chapters. All right. So that's usually the first 1 or 2 ways that new creators want to make money. So I'm curious, in your opinion, do you think monetization on YouTube is the end goal?
No. And it shouldn't even be what a lot of people consider permission to start making money. So I've always looked at it as an entire revenue pie. And I know you've heard this from me before, but I always have said that AdSense is a slice of revenue pie, but it's never the entirety of the pie. In fact, it's great if you can have 10 to 12 slices of pie. And that is what I'm so passionate about, because a lot of people are like, oh, once I get monetized, it's game on. I'm like, no, you don't have to be monetized from YouTube for it to be game on, period. There are so many other ways that you can monetize to get other pieces of pie. In fact, it's probably one of my smallest slices of pie. And I'm fine with it being that way, because imagine if you waited for permission to have that be how you start getting monetized, or let's say you do become successful wildly, and then you're a child type of family vlogging channel, and then COPPA came along and it wiped out your entirety of your revenue base and you had nothing else. Like, it's a very scary thing to put all of your eggs into any one revenue basket. So I'm always about diversification.
I like that. I like that. It is. I totally agree. I think you need to be very diversified, especially AdSense. AdSense not only is, for the risk that you mentioned, but like it can also fluctuate quite a fair bit,
by
right?
seasonality, by ad spend, by the genre that you're in. You hear all sorts of wildly variant CPM and RPM rates based on if you happen to be in finance versus if you happen to be a reaction channel, a drama and commentary channel versus a makeup channel versus a technology channel. They're all over the board. So you can't even go in and be like, well, this person makes X amount of dollars according to some site or Social Blade. Well, maybe for their particular vertical, or maybe they're in the preferred ad system, or maybe there's other things at play. So you can never kind of look at that and be like, well, this is the truth.
Right, right. Yeah, that's true. Talking about the pie, speaking of that pie, of that revenue pie for YouTube creators, what are some of the other slices? What are some of the other ways that creators can make money from their content?
Absolutely. Okay, so I even did an entire episode on my live stream about all the different revenue streams that I have. And I think it was eye-opening for a lot of people to see how little I make from AdSense and how small a part of it is. So this is where we kind of go into it. And I share real numbers. If anyone is interested, you can always go check that out. But starting with digital products. So I took one of the things that I happen to be known for in the past. I created a digital product and I put it up on Etsy. And then I was able to quickly surpass what I made in AdSense by digital sales on Etsy of that same digital item that I was teaching people to make for free in that video. So that's absolutely something you can do if you're also artistic. If you wanted to sell basically prints or, your own drawings on Etsy or something like that, people who are really good at digital planners, any of that kind of thing where you can upload it and then just let people download it is a really great passive way, because you don't have to keep making it on demand when people then want it, which is great. And then there is physical products. So I also, because I like to dabble in all the things, I gotta try it all. I made makeup swatch stickers as well. I put those on Etsy, but that comes with its own risks of shipping and costs and, mail and packaging. So there's a lot of benefit for doing digital products sometimes, but physical products are still a thing. So I did stickers, and some people will do hats or shirts and print on demand type of products. So you can create merchandise. If you are really good at something, some skill, whether it's your day job or not, even if it's data processing and you want to help other people with their data processing type stuff, you could be charging an hourly rate. You could be on Upwork, you could be on Fiverr, you could be doing coaching and consulting for the things that you know how to do. You could package all of your expertise up and put it into an online course. You could sell individual sessions or lessons if you wanted to and meet with people. You could have an entire membership site where they can have continual ongoing feedback loops with you and, feedback sessions. You could actually sell tickets to an online virtual event or have a physical in-person event. You can have all kinds of speaking gigs. You can create workshops. I mean, it's really the sky is the limit when it comes to that. So that's why I always talk about all these other things. And then, of course, one of my favorites is affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is just absolutely hands down one of the ways that I've made the most money, again, pushing or talking about products that you actually know and genuinely believe in. But a lot of people forget about that one.
Yeah, affiliate. I mean, those are, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like 7 or 8 right there that you just mentioned. And so you said creators should have at least 10 to 12 different revenue streams?
I think if you can be in double digits, that's great. Right? And if you think, I think you can definitely do that. I mean, everything from buy me a coffee to Patreon to there's a million different ways for you to be able to monetize your expertise and passion. Yep. You just got to find the 10 that work for you.
I love it.
And also, it's not that every single piece of slice of pie is, $500, $200. Sometimes it's, $7, but $7, over a year, it adds up. And then next year it's $10 or whatever it is. Like it's all about building
Yeah.
momentum as
I
well.
love that. And when it comes to affiliates, do you see affiliates as like its own like revenue stream, or each
Oh,
individual
yeah.
affiliate program counts as one kind of thing in your head?
Technically, I kind of tend to group affiliate
Clump them all
together,
together. Yep.
but yeah, but sometimes depending on how you make your money for affiliate,
Yeah.
something like if you're in the Amazon influencer program
Yeah.
and you're making videos, that's a different type of thing because you're still actively participating in something that earns you affiliate revenue. So it's almost like a combination of content creation slash affiliate, but technically at the end of the day, it's still affiliate.
Got it. Got it. And then and I guess in terms of like the way that you look at your business, do you look at the revenue sort of on a like in terms like monthly revenue or annual, quarterly? Like how do you like personally for yourself? Do you sort of like look at it like, okay, my revenue is this much per month based on all of these services, affiliates, courses, memberships, all of the sales. Do you look at it like as a monthly way or annual way?
Yeah. No, I think well you can do both, but
Yeah.
I right now am tracking on like a monthly basis. And so
Okay.
I have like almost like a barometer, thermometer, whatever you want to say, where I have a dollar amount that I want to get to, and then I have a calculation of what I actually am bringing in and how close are they? And
Yeah.
what can I do to evaluate, is there one that we could grow?
Yeah.
Faster rates than others? Is there one that we should eliminate because it's not helping or serving us and we're spending too much effort on it? What can we do to basically bring that number of what I'd like to make and what I am making up to the same level?
Got it. Got it. No, I like that. And I guess just going back to sort of the topic of this session, which is the diversification of revenue, and having the different revenue streams. There's a lot of debate and talk around taking your audience offsite, like taking them from YouTube and like getting them over to your membership or your courses or to an affiliate link or something. What do you see as the pros and cons, or maybe there is no cons? Like, what's the pros and cons of doing that, taking your audience off-site, from whether it's YouTube or Instagram, LinkedIn?
I would say, are they going willingly or are you forcing them? That's a very important distinction right there. It can't be like I've got you very excited for something, but the only way that you can access it is by coming here and I'm forcing you and it feels like I'm dragging you along, which is almost a bait and switch, right? Like,
Yeah.
here's this free webinar thing, but now you can only get it if you buy my course.
Right.
That type of thing is different than, hey, I'm giving you all this information by itself. It's complete. If you want extras and bonuses that can either stand on their own or can be an accoutrement to this, and
Yep.
then if you want more, come on over here. But it's not then denigrating or what is already there, what they came
Right.
for. It's an add-on and a bonus, and for the people who are like the true fans who want to follow you, or you might even be reaching some people who aren't on the platform that you're on, because sometimes it's about reaching people on the platforms that they want to be on when they want to be on it. So I'm going to say it depends on intention and delivery.
Yeah, got it. I like that. I like that. There's also a lot of creators that are, probably going to be watching this and maybe just starting, maybe they have a smaller channel or a very specific topic channel, very niche channel. Can a smaller creator or like a very niche channel still make money like on YouTube from their content with all the things that you mentioned, like all the different revenue streams that you mentioned?
Absolutely. If you were a hydroponics gardening channel and that's the only thing that you talked about, the only thing that you did, you could have a YouTube channel of 500 to 1,000. But if you also offered those services where you would Zoom with people to talk about their plants or their, vegetation needs and their environment and stuff like that, you could be making more money from the consultations. You might not even be in the partner program, and you could be making money from these sessions and speaking at events and being known as the hydroponics person. There is absolutely like that's worth its weight in gold and sometimes revenue when it comes to being known for something very, very specifically.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like a smaller pond, right? Like you're a bigger fish in a small pond,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess with the smaller, talking again to the creators that are coming up, smaller channels, what are the initial one or two revenue streams that they should focus on? Rather than like going all in and like doing everything and setting up all seven or eight at the same time. What are the one or two that they can sort of focus on and probably have a higher likelihood of, having success and getting that revenue stream started?
I would almost always recommend starting with an affiliate program with
Affiliates, yeah.
something that
Okay.
you actually like, know, trust, and use. That's
Yeah.
always going to be one of the easiest and to get into. And then the other is packaging up somehow your own expertise and talking about it, whether that's coaching, consulting sessions, Q&A, whatever it is. You probably can find a way to monetize that.
I like that. I like that. Very good. Very good. I want to go back to what you said about focus because recently you actually did a video where it's like, I think it was titled, I'm blowing up my channel, right? I'm
Yeah,
blowing
I
up my
did.
channel.
I did.
Yeah. So, would love to just, hear your thoughts. What's the latest with your content, with your channel and sort of, I think it's from watching it, because I did watch the video. It's really a matter of focus. It sounds like. So, yeah, share a little bit of that. I think that might be really helpful for some of the creators out there that whether they have a big or small channel, like focusing. So, what are you doing? How are you blowing up your
Well,
channel?
and actually, bless their heart, someone in the viewing audience, when they were looking at that, they were like, "Oh yeah, I want to blow up too." And I'm like, "Oh no, 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 no! This is the negative connotation of blowing up. This is not like whoo, explosive growth. This was explosive, not growth." But basically, I had this moment, and we've had a long history where I've talked about. I don't know exactly all the time who I'm helping, but I want to help creators reduce excuses and make videos. And that was my biggest motivation for many, many years was how can I remove these obstacles and barriers that make it so that people can finally be proud to share what they love with the world on YouTube. And so I spent a lot of time teaching people about editing hacks on or learning how to edit in iMovie, Final Cut Pro, InShot, all of these different applications and programs. And that's really what I became known for. And I decided, I was like, it's not just enough to teach them that because there are so many programs and so many people who teach that. I want to go a step further. And I'm like, you have all of these stories of people who are always like, I've been on YouTube, I want to get monetized, or I've been on YouTube and it's my passion and I want to share this stuff with people, but like I can't do it because I never make any money. And I'm like, this has been my lifelong problem is I can help anyone make money but myself. So let's turn this problem into a gift for other people. I'm like, let's figure out how other people can make money. And so let's take it one step further. Let's say you have videos. Okay, how do you take that video and then be able to monetize your passions and then share what you love with the world and make money from it? So you don't have to be that struggling broke artist, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to bring people into
Right.
and do what I can't do is, how do you
Right.
actually then monetize it? And so now I really had to step back from all the things that I was known for before because I was like, I don't need to be, or I don't want to any longer be known as the person who teaches people how to make subscribe buttons and how to do iMovie tutorials. So I decided to private everything that has to do with video editing and that I'd built my channel on for the last 4.5 years. And I just immediately overnight privated 200 and some videos and lost over 2 million views. And so I was like, because what I want to be
Wow.
known for, I have this clarity now is I want to help people not just make content, but take that content and make money or take that content and make a living. And so that's really the new focus of the channel now, but it meant really letting go and having a hard look at like, what do you want to be known for and what do you want to do moving forward? And so that was a definitely hard introspective look, but I was like, I want to help people make money and succeed on YouTube or, creating content. So that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely encouraging because I think there are a lot of creators that are sort of like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, all over the place, right, with their content, myself included. And it's like, okay, well, because you want to talk about all the different things. I was talking to another creator and he's doing really well, but it's like he still wants to create content that's outside of the pillar, like main focus, just in case for whatever reason the main focus topics are no longer relevant. It's not hard for him to pivot. So Yeah, it's encouraging that somebody with a channel your size, this large is like, hey, I'm gonna shut down 2 million views, and then make those private. So, what's your expectation in terms of how long YouTube may take to pick up on this new focus now?
Oh,
And
probably a
yeah,
minimum of 3 to 6 months for them to probably figure it out. But
3 to 6 months,
also,
right?
I had figured for the next 3 to 6 months, every time I put out a video, it will just be negative growth because as I put out more videos on things that people don't want to see who were subscribed for the other stuff, 95% of my views was coming from the other stuff.
Yeah.
It probably would have been smarter for me to start up a new channel, but I was like, nope, I like the name. I'm going to keep it. I'm just going to move forward. And you make
Yep.
that decision. And so I think for the next probably 3 to 6 months, as I continue to put out content that may or may not be what they're interested in, more people would hit unsubscribe too. So that's the prediction, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. That's a prediction. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. No, we're rooting for you. I'm really watching how that goes because I think that's a really smart move to focus in on that. All right, I got a couple more questions for you, but before we do, what is the best way for people to connect with you? Maybe work with you directly, catch your content and
Yeah, so
everything
you
that
can
you're
follow me
doing.
everywhere as Shelly Saves the Day. And I do offer individual sessions and channel evaluations. So that's absolutely anything that you can find. You can connect with me on Instagram. There's also a button that will take you directly to the site where you can book an appointment with me too.
Amazing. We'll have all of your links in the show notes and description. So if you guys want to connect with Shelly, make sure you do that. All right. My
Okay.
final question is, I'm asking everybody this, is that, as content creators, become more and more relevant, I guess, or, they take over the media, right? Content creators and individual creators, this creator economy. Where do you see the future of this idea of diversified revenue streams? Like, do you just see more creators doing this? Do you see creators focusing on like two or three, income streams that are doing really well? Whether it's bigger brand deals and things like that. What's your thoughts on, the crossover between content creators and
I think
money
it's an interesting
business?
question because sometimes the people who are popular are not the ones who are making money. And sometimes the people who are making money are not as
Oh,
popular.
yeah.
So there's this fighting notion that we have of only the popular people are making money. And the people who are actually making money sometimes don't care at all about the subscriber number or the follower account number because the number they care about most is the one that's in their bank account. So it's a really interesting conundrum because as we grow up with,
Yeah.
the kids, I call them kids these days, but, you ask them, like, what do you want? And they want to be a YouTuber, a TikToker, an online content creator, but you ask them why. And it's, well, it looks like they're out partying. It looks like, they just live in these mansions, right? And it's like, most of them don't understand either the work it takes to get to that level. They just have these grandiose expectations without the real reality of what it takes to sometimes get to that point. So I think when you have these things that are like very counterintuitive with each other, because some of these TikTok influencers are broke, right? They're living in a house together because they can't afford this mega mansion. Their only content is by creating it together for
That's
them
true.
to be able to post and maybe get enough brand deals to be able to maintain the lifestyle that they have in LA. Flip side of the coin, you have people who are
Yep.
quietly building their online empire. Their bank account says they're doing really, really great things. But they're not out flexing and showing off and being overly animated and exaggerated about how much money they're making. So I think there's a real disconnect because people think it's only the ultra wealthy when sometimes it's actually the people who are showing off the most and flexing the hardest that have no money. Does that make sense? So I think as time goes on, there's actually going to be more of a realization that all that glitters is not gold, and that people realize it later that they actually want to build a sustainable, actual profitable type of growth. And it's going to look different because I think with the current times that we're in, a lot of people are annoyed actually by the flex culture, that I have all of this culture. And it's actually turning more people off because a lot of people right now are introspective about what's really important to them. And it's not always the flashy things, which is what a lot of those people have used to help fuel their popularity, if that makes. So I think there's going to be this kind of like reckoning as people get a little bit older, that those things are not the things that are most important, and it's going to come back to, okay, well, what did you learn? How do you educate? How do you help? Who are you, helping? And so there's going to be a shift in tide. If that's an answer, it is an answer, but maybe not the answer you were looking for.
I agree. No, I think that's a great perspective. I agree. I think we know, I can name a few. I won't name them here, but like I can name a few that are behind the scenes and doing really, really well. But they don't have the numbers, the vanity numbers like you mentioned. But business wise and everything, they're doing very, very well. Lifestyle wise, they're doing very well. Balance, work-life balance, and all that stuff. Which is, I think, much healthier. So yeah, it's a really good perspective, and
really?
I'm glad you shared that.
Oh, well, here's another one where they say like
on the podcast.
Money talks.
So, yeah,
they always say money talks, but then they say
real talk.
But wealth whispers. Like they don't have to. They don't have to.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's awesome. Well, Shelly, thank you so much. This has been a really, really good conversation. Hope you guys got a lot of it out of it. I think there's a lot to be said about diversifying your income streams, and that's really important, for a creator. So, Shelly, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you again in the next video. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Make sure you're subscribed to the show so you don't miss any of the new episodes every single week as they're published. And if you want to learn more about using Uscreen, maybe you want to build a program, a membership, a course for your business, or if you want to join our affiliate program, we've got a fantastic program. We have resources, we have a community, we have a Slack channel privately for our affiliate partners. Make sure you head over to uscreen.link/podcast to get more information. And I also want to make sure I invite you to our Facebook group. It's on Facebook. It's called the Uscreen Insiders. It's a fantastic community. There's Uscreen users, customers, people that are wondering and asking questions about Uscreen. Should it be for them? Should it be for you? We also have team members, partners there as well. So make sure you join us over there. Just look for Uscreen Insiders inside of Facebook. All right. So until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.